What up, everybody? It's time for another episode 24?
I'm going to say it's 24.
I think it's 24.
We're set on it. I don't know.
20... Okay,
We'll fix it in post.
I'm just gonna... 23. I think it's 24. Hold on. I'm not cutting this out.
I just come here and I hope they know. Because I never do.
Let us handle it.
It's like, we got this.
And this is how we're handling it now.
It's like, let the men handle it. And then my phone froze. Okay, the YouTube app's kind of dumb when you try to change accounts.
We all have the YouTube app. We're all going to check because we all subscribe.
Episode 23. Yay. YouTube isn't responding, but I got to see it before it clashed.
23.
Yeah,
Episode 23. How professional of us.
Normally we would cut it out, but
we don't care.
Like that. We don't care. Okay.
Yeah, we're real.
Built
Relax.
different.
Yeah, when we make our first apology video, we're not going to be like...
Oh no, we're already talking about an apology video.
Who we pissed? Well, I'm pretty sure we pissed somebody off. We have 34 subscribers. Which one of you's pissed? We're sorry.
I'm angry. You angry?
So, again...
Before we get started.
Oh, yeah. We're not experts in any of the things we talk about today. Or have ever been. So take everything we say with a grain of salt.
With a grain of salt.
We're not even experts at our own fucking podcast.
No.
It's like, good with a pinch of salt?
Like I said, I come and I hope for the best.
Swing and a miss. Alright. Let's get started with... What month is it?
It's October, and it has been October for the past 22 days.
For the past like, two podcasts too, right?
Podcasts. But it's exciting because next Sunday is Halloween. And
spooky, scary skeleton.
Well, first of all, it's really going to be Halloween. Like, the year went by so quick.
2020 was just a drag.
Yeah.
The whole
Honestly.
time. Because of, what are we going to call the sickness?
The pandemic?
No. Like, I don't know. Because I don't know if YouTube likes that word.
Oh, sorry. 242.
242? Oh, no, I'm not going to delete it.
Oh, okay.
Because we're not monetized yet.
Just in case they change your mind.
I don't know, just the I don't know. Pandemic's the best thing that I could come up with. I don't know.
The sugar to kind of keeps the salt away. I don't know. Anyway.
That thing.
Halloween and Christmas are tied for my favorite holidays. I don't know about you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've always loved Halloween.
Why?
I don't know, I just like the atmosphere. It's like so fun. Everybody gets super creative. And it's the birth of my favorite meme.
The Antichrist.
Oh. I guess we should mention we're drinking.
We're just jumping everything.
Yeah, I know. Adrenaline shock. I think Shockwave is the flavor. I've never had this before, so I don't know.
Adrenaline? I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't had it before either, and she's always going to stick to Old Faithful, the White Monster.
White Monster.
Yeah, I don't know what flavor is Shockwave, but I'm assuming it's like a fruit punch.
It sounds like it's...
I hope it is. Because if it's lemon lime, I'm going to spit it out.
300 milligrams of caffeine. That'll wake you up. Don't like it.
Really?
Don't like it.
Really?
He didn't even finish swallowing. He's like, don't like it. Why?
Because I brushed my teeth before.
Oh my...
It's... It's like a rock star and a Nos had a baby.
If you get past all the
Ross.
toothpaste.
Damn it, Eddie.
That's what we're calling it. You want a Ross?
Colder. Get the fuck out of here.
That's okay.
So is it like a fruit punchy taste?
I kind of taste grapefruit.
I taste NOS. I just.
Well, what flavor is not?
I haven't had Nas in
It's like-
so long, so.
It's just not.
It's like an orange Skittle.
Alright.
Use your imagination on that.
Alright.
Oh, good news. We have a Facebook page.
Are you
Okay,
gonna
let me
announce
show it. And hold on. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's our Facebook page in all its glory. Well,
It's
this is
just-
what I see. It's like bare fucking bones.
Yeah, it's just the base, guys. Okay, we'll add on to it little by little as we grow.
Let me go ahead and put my favorite meme,
Spoopy.
Spoopy,
Spoopy.
if it ever loads.
I have
If it ever loads.
I have a horrible memory, so I'm pretty sure you've showed me this, and I just cannot remember. Or I'm pretty sure I've even just seen it. Spoopy.
It's basically like from a store. Here we go.
I remember now.
What's wrong with the internet? Why is it so slow right now?
It was we had a very bad thunderstorm
Yeah, but
recently, and I feel like that fucks things up.
now we have freaking fiber optic,
Uh,
so the weather doesn't affect it.
Then maybe you should get something else, because fiber optic ain't working.
There it is.
Oh!
No, go away.
No!
Creative Cloud.
Spoopy.
Spoopy. My favorite. When I first saw it, I was literally crying because I was like, it's like spooky, but it's spoopy. It sounds so stupid.
I love it because it's like those off-brand, like the Avengers packaging, and it's like Lightning McQueen and Shrek.
The Tusslers.
Spoopy. Was that like meant? I wonder if it was meant to be spoopy, or if they just.
I'm pretty sure it's meant to be spooky,
Okay.
and they.
You just fucked up.
Since there's no quality control, they sent it out as spoopy.
I don't know, it's funnier the more you look at it. Even the skeletons are off.
It just sounds so dumb. So literally like all year, like I'm just like quietly sitting on my own, and then I think about it as like spoopy. And I
Little
laugh.
chuckle.
It never fails to lighten up my mood. But
Yeah, Halloween.
I think I know what I want to be for Halloween this year.
Okay.
Nathan Drake.
No, I'll have to pull it off.
Yo.
I want to be a 1940s LA noir private investigator.
So you just need a hat, a
Yeah.
I
trench
need the hat and the
coat,
trench. I want the hat and the trench coat.
and then you gotta just find a way to make yourself be black and white.
Not gonna. Oh no.
Oh. White face. I don't know.
Monochrome face. But that and just like find like the accent and then like just talk in metaphors.
You gotta
It's
like
my
have a
favorite
journal.
one's like
I just see Eddie walk in the room. Tunes.
my favorite one is like from the Internet Historian's video. I think it was one of his ads. He was like a private investigator. He's like, I cut the brake lines to my car because I never learned how to stop. so stupid shit like that.
I feel like that'd be a good costume for you, because that's just like, that fits you.
So it's just dumb.
It's dumb. Yeah. Like almost every other thing Waddy says, I'm like, you're dumb. It's just like, just dumb. That's Waddy.
I don't know how many times I've said something in response to something and you start laughing and you get mad. Not at me, but at yourself for laughing.
Because it's dumb. Like, I shouldn't be laughing at this.
Every time.
I think at work, my boss asked me like, how full are the almonds? Like he was asking how many almonds we had.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's like, how full are the almonds? And I was like, they just ate. Like, I thought he was giving a beat. I was like, they just ate. And he's like, what? Shut the fuck up.
Fired! You're fired!
Get out of here.
Yeah!
It's that dumb My favorite laughter is the one where you're laughing, but you're like so fucking stupid. Like when Eric, that meme I sent you, it was like they sent it to the Romans or some shit. It was like sliced bread, and he was like, "Oh, this is the best thing since ripped up bread."
Since crumpled up bread.
Yeah.
Dumbest thing ever.
It caught him for like several minutes. But yeah, that's always been my favorite. Like that kind of. Oh man, I was gonna say something that I said at work, but no, that might get me in trouble. But
I'm gonna try to be Wolverine. We'll see how that goes. Because I cut my hair too short, so I don't think I can do the split. Right here, right there. But we'll see.
Does he have a special like beard or mustache going on? Right? Are you gonna do that too?
Yeah, the mud chops.
Yeah.
This has gotta go. All this.
oh,
Do it for the
Can I use
bits.
one of your cigars?
I don't have any cigars,
It'd probably be cheaper than an.
but you can get one. Like
You can just make one with paper.
Go to
a cigar.
Just roll a fake cigar,
It's gonna
dude.
look fake as fuck.
It's Halloween.
Exactly. You're gonna spend more money on the paper than you want on the cigar.
It's cardboard paper. No, not cardboard paper. What am I thinking of?
Cardboard is paper.
Is there such a thing as cardboard paper? Cardboard paper.
Cardstock?
There we go. No, I'm thinking like the ones you see at elementary schools. That you cut up, you mix stuff
Oh,
up.
construction paper.
Construction paper.
There you
I was thinking more like the sandpaper towels.
Okay, no.
The brown ones.
go. No, why would I put that in my mouth? No.
Which, I can't believe those even work. Like the brown paper towels, you know what I mean?
Like the ones you see at like
Ugh, yeah.
everywhere, like stores, like the restrooms. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
they're
about?
like, ugh, I hate them. I don't know why. Like,
Just. All right.
I got maybe they're cheaper. That was weird.
Was the simulation?
Yeah. No. I guess maybe they're cheaper, but I don't know. Something about using like, I don't know, like the ones that normal people buy. To like.
I'm
mix
pretty
it up.
sure it's cheaper because, I mean, why else would they buy it? For the aesthetic.
Yeah. Probably for the same reason, like, lots of places like to get like one ply toilet paper.
It's cheap. I know that for sure. It's cheap.
But it's fucking
It
useless.
sucks. It sucks.
Like, what's the bare minimum requirements? We'll just fill that out. They didn't come here to shit. They came here to buy stuff.
Let's get them in and out, let's go. Actually, no. You'd
They
be
want
stuck
something
in
better,
there.
they'll have to buy it.
True.
Andrea, what are you gonna be?
I don't know, because I really I had a plan at the beginning of the year to be Korra from
Oh my
The Legend of
God.
Korra, the Avatar universe, Avatar The Last Airbender universe.
Just be like her after she got canceled.
Oof.
Just don't exist.
How'd she get canceled? Oh.
No, well, the show got canceled. It's not.
No,
it's
I
not
mean, it
fair.
had 4 seasons. I guess. Okay, I get where I understand.
Yeah,
where
not
he's coming
like
from.
Twitter canceled. Like real canceled.
Yeah, I guess where he's coming from.
Nickelodeon canceled.
I wanted,
Never canceled. No.
I wanted to do the 4th book, Korra, where with her short hair,
Yeah.
she's coming into herself as a character. I was like, that's awesome, Korra. I want to be that Korra. I was gonna buy a whole costume and like have it like made special for me, but I was like, nah. Here comes me, procrastinator, don't do shit, and I just did it. So now I'm like, for work, I think I worn it on the podcast. It's my orange Korra jersey that she wore in the first season.
Oh, the fire ferrets.
The
There
fire
you go.
ferrets. So I think I'm just gonna wear that. I'm gonna wear that to work, but I mean, like if I'm like to go to like a Halloween party, I'd probably have to come up with something else, something more creative, which I don't know yet. So we'll figure that out.
Sims.
I always do Sims, which I probably will end up doing because this is a super easy costume. But it's like so simple that it's like Sim. I like it. Like I can wear whatever the fuck I want as long as I have a little green plumb bob above my head.
You still have it?
No, I remake it every year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You just keep it.
I know. I tell myself that, but then it gets squished. Because it's paper. It's paper.
Then use what's it called? Paper cardboard?
Construction paper.
I'm making fun of you.
Oh,
Because
fuck
you couldn't tell.
Fuck you. Damn. I was like, I know that now. It's construction.
You set that up. You set that up.
We've come full circle.
Which honestly, but construction paper isn't that bad. Like, that's pretty smart. So I might do it. But I just gotta, then I gotta buy some more wire to like have it stick up. And then like a headband.
I think one year I literally just put on my chef's jacket.
Man, it works.
That works.
But I don't want to do that again. So that's why I want to be the... I saw it in a meme.
And then you're like,
I was like, you know what? I think I could do that. Why not? I'm looking like, I just need to get a straight jacket.
Okay, that's a wrong
Let's
costume.
go.
Wrong costume.
I just need to get a, what's it called? The overcoat, whatever.
I'm gonna call you
Trench.
Trench coat, there you
See?
go.
See, this is what you get for making fun of me. With my construction
At
paper.
least overcoat is still a thing instead of paper.
Is there-
Cardboard paper.
I'm
Cardboard
retail, but I
paper.
don't know anything about fashion.
I mean, like,
Is there an overcoat? Does that exist?
I think it's like a general term
Yeah.
for a piece of clothing.
Or is
Yeah.
that like what they call it in, England? I have an undercoat. Oh shit, did I get cancelled? Oh no!
Oh, you got
Wait!
All right. Oh, so when do we film the apology video?
right after this.
Let's do it right now.
Just be lazy about it. Clip this part of the podcast out. I was like, we're sorry.
Sorry.
Alright, well that's Canadian. Right? That sounded like Canadian.
Yeah, I remember hearing, like, watching that Franklin show, The Turtle, on Nick Jr. And there were times they would be like, no, you didn't get canceled. But, like, I remember hearing them say, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I'd always hear it, like, sorry. Why do they say it like that? Sorry.
Eddie, what are they, stupid? No, you uncultured fuck. I'm like 9 years old.
Oh, man. How old are you? Was I even 9? I'm pretty sure I was younger. Because this was, like, preschool.
Because 9, you are, what's that, 3rd grade? I think that's 3rd grade. 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
Yeah, so... I'm Mexican. I don't hear different like American accents.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to me in like a Bostonian accent, I'm like, is he okay, Mom?
I'm scared.
Forgot about it.
And then that's what I'm gonna be trying to pull off.
Caffy.
This is tart, dude.
So it gets worse.
Yeah, you just gotta give it a little good shake, a little good stir in there.
I think that's the 300 milligrams of caffeine.
We have no business drinking this shit right now.
I really
Your
don't.
eyes are
Ugh.
My heart hurts.
Is that tart?
Yeah.
Damn.
We need to chase it with some water. Can we get some waters, please?
Excuse me.
Oh no! I thought we were gonna go an episode without moving the table.
Alright, it's the armrest. Okay, now I can...
There we go.
Jesus Christ.
Let me stand up now.
'Cause it's like it's always Waddy that moves it. Either he gets excited and pushes it with his hands, or he kicks it. Honestly.
Appreciate
Am I? No, I'm good, thank you. Am I right?
It's usually my feet, because I have...
That's what I was thinking.
I always have them on, like, the little legs on the table underneath, and here's just my big toe. You want to confirm that?
Imagine what he can do with his fingers, lady.
Now your third leg.
I mean, as an aspiring chef, I can make anything taste good.
Oh no! Okay. 19 minutes is enough. We're ending the
You
podcast.
brought this up to us.
I don't know, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Alright, here comes my apology video. Now we just need yours. How are you going to piss off the people?
Everybody loves me.
Bullshit.
I don't piss
You're a
off
Capricorn.
anybody.
Oh
I don't
my
even know
God.
what that means. I said I was going to do research on that, and I never did.
Fucking give yourself homework. I'm not going to do it.
Give yourself homework so you won't do it. There you go.
I mean, we graduated years ago. Why would we do our own homework?
I kind of miss school, honestly.
Honestly, no, I don't.
You don't?
I don't see the point.
I like
You
learning.
see the point? I mean...
That was
That was-
concerning.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I thought the power was going to go out. Like, oh shit. We're going to lose everything. Well...
Would we?
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't have a UPS.
I
But...
told you to get one, Eddie. Bastard.
I forgot! You know, I'm going to order one right now. Fucking...
No, I get it off of Costco. You get a lifetime warranty. Forget about it.
Forgive. What were we saying before the whole lights flickered?
Before the ominous music.
That you were going to get... Oh, that he doesn't see the point of school. And I was like...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we learned some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like counting money. And...
I feel... No. Here's how I
Filling
feel. Like, there's certain things that, yeah, you need to accelerate and you need to go. But just to go just for the experience, don't waste your time. You know? Don't
Okay.
go for the quote-unquote experience and don't learn jack shit, you know?
Oh, you're talking
I
about
get
like
you.
college?
Yeah.
I get
Oh.
that. I get that.
If you're going to go, don't go for the experience. Go for the education.
Go to actually learn. You just waste, like you said, wasting money to party. Nah.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I left every single time I went. I've had like 4 majors. I haven't finished any of them. And then well, this one's the only one I know I like.
Because he's a party dude.
I've never actually partied in Senate.
Lives life on the
I never
edge.
actually partied in those times. Honestly.
I think you've worked at parties the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so
you're-
every time I'd go to a party, it's because I was working at the party.
To pay off your smash pad, right? Man, that looked really nice.
Oh, the one in San Antonio?
Yeah. Do you have pictures of it? I was
Uh,
gonna say I dream of it time to time, but I don't even talk about my dreams.
oh. I don't have pictures of it, but he was telling me earlier about a dream he had on the way over here.
It was the stupidest dream, but it was fucking terrifying. So, this was like 2 days ago, where I had a dream where Eddie and my cousin, Alan, they both made a Facebook group with me. And they both said, hey, I'm sorry to say it like this, but we both need $200. And I was about to reply, but I was like, I woke up, I was like...
Just breathing heavily, like,
I was like,
$400.
my God. And I thought it was real. I legit thought it was real. So I checked my phone and I was like looking through all my conversations. I was like, was it through Messenger? Was it through SMS? Where was it?
Did we all decide to download WhatsApp?
Did I delete it? I was like, hey, it's got to be a dream. It's got to.
It's so...
I mean, yeah, I would have given them the money, but I mean, I don't know why that that shook me.
Why?
Woke up in a cold sweat.
It's just like... Especially because he would have given the money too. So he's just like, I almost helped people.
Damn, I was almost a good friend. Jesus, shit. That was a close one. That's
Weird fucking
weird
dreams.
dream. And that's because I rarely dream because I rarely sleep. And I know that's not healthy, but it's temporary.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I used to dream a lot, and I mean, like, I honestly, I get a lot more sleep than Eric does. Really, I do.
Really?
But
You
it's,
do.
but it's still like for my body. I guess it's not enough. Like for me to dream. Like last dream I had, I was in a post-apocalyptic war world, and I was
Mad
good
Max?
because I had my shotgun and my pistol, and I was like,
Bring it on.
let's go. And then I woke up.
But no ammo.
No, I didn't get to go that far enough. But that's the last dream I had. But I just have weird, dumb dreams like that.
I've
Like
had
that.
dumb dreams like I cleaned the whole house and then I woke up and I never cleaned the house.
It's telling you
It was
something
like,
more.
nice and clean. I go to sleep. I wake up.
Ah,
Fuck!
I have to start again.
There was one where it was like, I was dreaming that I was trying to put, I was reaching for my phone on my night table, but I just couldn't reach it. And then I woke up on the floor. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Guess I'm here now. The weirdest one happened like over a decade ago. And we were still in junior high. I hadn't even met you yet. And it was everybody that I knew, like at school, like in a giant desert, and there's a giant half pipe, and everyone's skateboarding. And then out of nowhere, the Statue of Liberty comes and starts smashing everything with their torch.
Oh my god.
And then I woke up and like, the fuck is wrong with me?
You just described Burning Man.
Really?
Yeah, that's Burning Man.
I've never been to Burning Man. Of course, you ask pretty much any adult, they'll be like, "How was there?" Like,
It's like our generation of Woodstock, I guess.
I thought it would be our generation of like Coachella. Or just Burning Man. Only happened once.
You good?
Did Burning Man only happen once? I don't know. I'm good.
I have no idea what Burning Man is.
Really?
Yeah, what is that?
It's like, think of it as,
Coachella.
is it Austin City Limits, ACO?
Okay.
But it's more art than music festival. So everyone has these giant art sculptures they have out in the middle of the desert. And it's like a 3-day thing. And at the end, they burn the biggest one there, the Burning Man. Yeah. And of course, like, you could, pack your own supply of
I can't see.
stuff.
I get you.
Yeah, there you go. That's as far as I
Is
go
that
with
what they burn? That seems like it'd be very dangerous.
Yeah, but it's in the desert. So it's
Okay, but there's still people there.
So it's okay.
The fact that you said it looks, the fact that your first thought is it looks dangerous means you're boring. They gotta have some bit of danger.
But yeah, some people they take like their electric scooters out there. They'll just like go around the art and stuff, and they're all like intoxicated. I guess you could say.
Not sober. They're under the influence.
They're under the influence. Mainly, yeah.
Influence of something.
Something.
I guess I should play it. I can't see anything right now.
Did you look into the lights?
No.
Don't go into...
I'm only wearing one contact lens.
Bust out your glasses. Don't be ashamed of it at all.
I don't know where they are.
Probably broken, because you break all your glasses, dude.
They're the same glasses that I had last time that were broken.
I know, you need to just get an emergency pair of glasses. Try to take care
Those
of them.
are my emergency pair of glasses.
Oh, well, you need to take care of them better.
Well, I only use them at home, so I really don't care if it's only one-sided.
I'm gonna double down. You should get a monocle.
I mean, it's kind of like what I'm doing now, because I'm only wearing one contact, this one. But it's super blurry because it's already too old. So it's...
How long are contacts supposed to last?
Once I get, like, a pair should last you about a month.
And you've been wearing that one for longer than a month.
So, like about a week longer.
Yeah, but that seems like it'd
Well,
be very irritating for your eye.
Not really. It's just, I can't see.
I guess your eyes are just always red. You need to take better care of your eyes.
I mean,
dude.
I don't wear anything in this one. It's still red.
Yeah, but they used to, you need to, I don't know, you need to sleep more.
You need clear eyes.
Clear. Get some glasses.
Like, oh, that one scene from Series of Unfortunate Events with Jim Carrey, where he just goes...
I feel like I remember that, but I cannot, like, vision
I
it.
jump every time he did that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't even imagine doing that.
Are you doing it on camera? Or just
Ta-da!
do it on camera?
Will it even...
For our Spotify listeners.
Oh, wait,
he's
your
going
fucking
to-
big ass hand is
Oh
covering
yeah,
it.
follow us on Spotify. I completely forgot about that. Sorry, Spotifyers. What do you call Spotify people?
Listeners.
Jackass.
I guess. Fuckers. Not you, listeners. You know what? That's what I'll call them.
Fuckers.
For our fuckers. Okay. Is it still red?
I would say give it time.
Yeah, give it like 5 minutes and then we'll ask.
The camera doesn't even show.
Well, fuckers, listen to us. It's red. Very red.
Fuckers, listen. I don't think that's the first time I've ever heard you say that.
Fuckers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you cuss all the time.
I say fuck, but I don't say fuckers. You're
You
right.
just keep
She
saying
says
it.
gamers.
Gamers.
Let's go gamers. Let's go gamers.
You gamers. It's dumb. I don't know why that word is so cringe to me. I guess it's because it's always used like in a cringy way.
Yeah, then that's why.
It's like, oh, we got this special thing specifically for you gamers. Like, ugh, we already know what's gonna suck. Like, what is it called? Monopoly Gamer? It was Monopoly, but it's just Super Mario Brothers themed. But instead of Super Mario Brothers, they just call it Monopoly Gamer. I was like, this is fucking terrible.
Sounds horrible.
I was like, I mean, I'm sure that's fine, but like just seeing the name on there, I was like, ugh, I'm not buying that. If anything, it's not offending.
It's just cringy.
Yeah, like it. I guess offensive is the right word, but not like in the sense that like, oh, my feelings are hurt, but in the sense that like, like repelling. That's a better word.
Okay, yeah, I get you. So do the fuckers.
Fuckers, are you upset that we call you fuckers?
I don't think it'll catch on.
It's not gonna
I
catch.
don't think so.
I hope it doesn't, because we'll never be monetized.
It'll die this episode.
Here's my apology. I am sorry.
Hey! We got our bases covered.
I'm sorry, fuckers. I'm sorry.
Go just put a twit longer to all my fuckers. I'm very sorry.
It's just, every time we say this, it reminds me kind of like Lady Gaga's fans are her little monsters. So y'all are my little fuckers.
Just hers.
It's fine. I'm sorry.
What about our YouTube people? Because our Spotify listeners are our fuckers. And YouTube, we can't forget the YouTubers. Freak or something.
Next podcast. Keep an eye out. I'm going to write it on a piece of paper so only the YouTube people can see it. Spotify people.
Damn! There's gonna... You know what? Let's incite a war. Like a civil war within the fan base. As small as it is. Who's better, the Spotify listeners or the YouTube viewers?
I'm sorry.
I think so are we. So am I.
Where's your apology video?
No, it's gonna be right after this one. It's gonna be me at my desk. Hold on.
There's too many of that going on.
I need to make the best video. Oh shit! I missed my eye completely.
Are you trying to make like tears?
Yeah. Here, you want some?
No, okay.
You want to cry?
I can make myself cry on demand.
No, we'll wait.
No, I don't want to.
The fuckers don't need to see this. I guess. Oh my gosh. The.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't believe we said all that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it goes into like the topic, something big that's going on like nowadays, when it comes to like being offended and stuff. The main one that comes to mind, because I watched it this morning, was a thing with Dave Chappelle's special.
And Netflix, right?
And Netflix.
Okay.
Because his special came out, The Closer, I think it is.
The closer. Yeah.
You say your joke.
Because he kept saying
I'm
the
not
closing.
No.
Closer.
When it came out, people were saying the closer, not the closer.
I still don't get
Close, like bring us all closer.
Mm.
That's the joke?
The Closer.
It's not the joke, but people kept
That's how
calling
it's-
it like that.
The closer.
Yeah, but it's the closer, like he's done.
Well, he did say, he
Yeah.
starts off the show by saying, this is his last special he's doing for a while.
Okay, makes sense then.
Honestly, I love the intro with the records. Love
So you've seen it too?
Yeah, I saw it the second day it came out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so both of them have seen it. I haven't watched it, so I can't really give my like whole an honest, good opinion about it or my side of the story. I'm not a big fan of comedy specials. I don't know. It's just not my thing to watch. Like, I won't watch it or go to it. But I will listen to this conversation. I'm trying to give it as much insight that I have.
I do recommend you, like, watch it. If anything, just to get what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the fact that it's comedy, because I feel like it's being really misrepresented. That, and I feel like
Well,
there's a
I
lot
feel like
wrong.
it was more of a storytelling than a comedy special, because you can tell a difference right off the bat. Like Bill Burr, he has a comedy special. You know it's a comedy special. Like, they're all jokes. And with this one, it was more of a storytelling.
Well, they were they were all jokes, but that's just like that's always been like his comedy style, I guess you could say. Because like you can say the same thing about Kevin Hart. His are all stories. Meanwhile, you get someone like I can't remember his name, but anyway, like people are really upset, specifically the LGBTQ community and trans people, because a good chunk of it he is poking fun of trans people, and people are saying like what he's saying is violent, like it's like gender violence and things like that. And it's like, it's all in bad taste, so people are getting really offended to the point where Netflix had to walk out because the CEO defended Dave Chappelle on the whole thing. He was like, and eventually the CEO was like, look, I'm sorry for what I said. It was wrong to say that, but it doesn't change my opinion. But the reason I want to talk about it is because I agree with what he says, though. Not about, like, what the jokes say, but, like, how he feels about how people are taking the jokes.
Oh, we're talking about Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I saw the special, and he makes fun of pretty much everybody.
Yeah, no
like,
one's safe.
Yeah, no one's
that's
safe.
The best kind.
But the thing that I took from it is like, I can't help but feel it's kind of arrogant, because, like, and you can say this about South Park. The reason nobody's like tried to cancel South Park. Well, people have tried, but they've always failed because South Park makes fun of everybody. So if one thing crosses the line, why is it only that thing that crosses the line? What about everything else? Because they've said some fucked up shit. And I don't even watch South Park. It's just not my cup of tea. Just like how stand-up comedy is not your thing.
Yeah.
It's just not me. Are they gonna lose sleep over it? I'm just some random fuckhead. But like I will always applaud South Park for putting themselves in the position like, hey, you try to cancel us, that means like it's only gonna show your arrogance. Like, oh, everything's funny until it has to do with you, and that's how I felt about this special, because like he brings up like how people were like the whole Stop Asian Hate thing from last year. Was it last year or this year?
Well, it's
the beginning of the
Like a
shutdown.
transition.
It was mostly like happening at the beginning, but I mean, like, of course, it still can happen.
He brings it up, and his joke was like he at one point he thought he was gonna get COVID. He got the test, but like it was in that period where like he was still waiting on the results, and he's watching the news,
Yeah.
and he's like, man, I just see all these black people beating on Asian people for no reason, and it's terrible. And he's like, however, I couldn't help but think, this is what's going on inside my body. Because he thought he had COVID, he didn't. It's stupid, right? But it's still a pretty fucked up thing to say, is like, all these people are getting hurt and maimed and damn near killed.
And I feel like that's worse because people actually got hurt. Like, not their feelings, they actually got hurt.
Not only that, and he also points out, like, the baby is a good one. He's like, the baby, has something happened in Florida, I think he fell off the stage, or something happened, where he says a homophobic slur. And then he got canceled for it. And Dave Chappelle's like, yeah, that's fine and all. He shouldn't be saying stuff like that, but he also killed a man at a Walmart in North Carolina.
And no one cares about that.
No one, and his career didn't take a single hit. However, but, so someone can die, but it isn't until you make fun of like you say something about the LGBT community that you're committing violence. It's like like these people's feelings are, I don't want to say these people's, but like
people.
their feelings of some mean more.
Did I get that right? Did I nail it? No? Okay.
The feelings of some mean more than the lives of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing I was like, that really caught me. I was like, it's really fucked up. He can kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to give a shit. He says his homophobic slur, everyone's up in arms. Really? That's really fucking like one-sided.
Yeah.
Like really fucking, like what's more important, your feelings or someone's life? Like, come on. And then he goes on about like how, like, yeah, like he goes on about like how he was, I think somebody's trying to sell a story to TMZ about how he beat up a woman because she was a lesbian. And he was like, that's not true. I didn't beat up a woman because she was lesbian. I thought it was a man. I was like, oh, fuck. And he's like, but hear me out. This is what happened. He goes into this club, and he sees this girl, and she recognizes him. He's like, oh my gosh, Dave Chappelle, blah, blah, blah. Like, I love your work. And he's like, oh, hi, whatever. And he's being nice. And somebody comes, he's like, hey, it's my girl. He's like, whoa. And then they keep coming out to it. It's like, hey, that's my girl. And then they come into a fighting stance. It's like, all right, here we go. This is a fight. And it's like, whoa, like, sorry, man, like, whatever. And he's like, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. He's like, oh, and he was like, well, no matter, like, you're still squaring up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to defend myself. And then, so they get in a fight, like, he, like, I guess he wins the fight. There's a winner here. But they turned around and said, like, the only reason he beat her up was because she was a lesbian. So he's like, it's not fucking true. But they're always going to try to find the twisted way to make him feel like a victim. And then he talks about how he's like, he keeps being called transphobic. He's like, yeah, he's like, sure, whatever, I'm transphobic, whatever. Tell that to my, he's like, because I'm afraid of trans people for whatever reason. And he keeps bringing it up. He's like, yeah, transphobic comedian Dave Chappelle, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the show, he brings up his friend, I think her name was Daphne Dorman.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Who he didn't meet as a man who eventually transitioned to a woman. He met her after she was fully transitioned. And they met, and she came up to him. He's like, you're my hero. Like, I want to be a comedian just like you. Like, you're the one I look up to. He was like, I can't hate someone like that. So he like kind of took her under his wing. And he was saying how, like, he's like, like, whenever I'm in San Francisco, I'll give you like some help, whatever. Eventually, like, he was in San Francisco looking for, because he was going to do a show, but he needed an opener. He's like, wait, this girl's a comedian. So he calls her and he calls her personally, and he asks her, and she wants to open for him. And she says yes. She's like, that sounds amazing. And keep in mind, she's an amateur. She's done like, I think he says she's at that point she had only done 8 shows in her life.
Jeez.
Like, period. Like, not big ones, just anything. And so she was like real amateur, but she was funny. And so she opens for him, and she bombs for like 45 minutes straight, just bombs. But she takes it in stride. He's like, any other comedian would have been like, oh, it was terrible. But she was like, once she's done, she goes back into the audience and finds like right up front, and she sits there like nothing happened. I'm doing my act. Dave Chappelle's talking. I'm doing my act, and she's laughing at everything I'm saying. And she's drunk, so she starts talking to me, but not like to me, kind of like how you talk to your TV when you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like somebody, and it was like kind of awkward because like nobody laughed at her jokes like while she was on stage, but somebody, I I guess like frustrated some people, and some guy from the very back is like, "Hey, Daphne," and like to be offensive, I guess he was like, or just to make fun of her, he was like, "Do the carpets match the drapes?" And then she gets up, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck, what's gonna happen?" She's like, "Actually, I don't have carpet. I have hardwood floors." And everybody laughs. Like in an instant, she instantly turns like the. It's not even. She's not even on stage anymore. She turns the audience completely on her side. Dave Chappelle was like, "Dude, that's fucking hilarious." And then after the show, he's hanging out in the backstage with all these like comedians and stuff. But she's leading the charge. So she's the one leading the conversation. She's killing it. He's like, "Man, what like." Where was this like on stage? Because you sucked. He's like, where was this on stage? Because you're so fucking funny. And he was like, you know what? Next time, like whenever I'm in San Francisco, just hit me up. Like we'll try this again. Like we'll put you on stage and I'll give you some pointers and I'll like help her work her craft. Because every comedian starts off like bombing.
Yeah.
So that's I'm pretty sure it's no big deal. He was like, she can be something. Like she's that good. If she, like once she gets her style, like knows how to do it right, she'll be great. But then his special Sticks and Stones come out, and that one, the trans community hated it. And he was like, I was being dragged through Twitter, but that doesn't mean anything to me because Twitter's not a real place. But like. People like were going all off on him on Twitter and stuff, but she, a trans woman, the trans comedian, like defended him on Twitter, and she was like, "No, he's not an enemy of like trans people. He's just making jokes. That's it. That's all they are. He doesn't hate anybody." And he even says like, "I've never like anybody that's ever seen my specials, know that I have no problem with trans people. I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem. The only people I've ever had beef with was white people." That's it. The only problem I ever had was with white people. And, well, for defending him, they dragged her through Twitter. Like, they started giving her hate on Twitter. 6 days later, she killed herself. And he was like, and he didn't put blame on that. So-and-so killed her, like, drove her to this, or anything like that. But you can tell it's kind of implied. And he was like, yeah, it's really, like, hard. People don't normally do this. They don't go against their tribe to defend you. And he's like, but she wasn't part of their tribe. She was part of mine. Because she was a comedian. And she was my friend. So she was my tribe, and to me, they hurt her. Well, he didn't say that, but that's something like along those lines. And he was like, but yet I'm the transphobic one. Whatever. And I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't think people have seen this. Like, all this backlash he's getting, like, have people actually seen this and paid attention to what he's saying? Because I don't hear this guy being transphobic at all. What I'm hearing, if anything, I hear about some guy that lost his friend. And then being labeled a transphobe. I mean, yeah, some of his jokes are in bad taste. He was like, well, I learned that she was survived by a daughter. And when hopefully I'm alive, and I started a trust fund for her, and I hope when she turns 21, I'm still alive. So that way I can give her the money personally, and I can have a conversation with her that I'm not ready to have yet. And I want to tell her, hey, I knew your father, and she was a wonderful woman. And it's like, he's like, that's a hard joke to hear, but like, let me tell you, she would have loved that joke.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, well, this is like really like heartwarming and wholesome, but he's still getting trashed for it. Absolutely trashed. Well, he doesn't give a fuck. But I'm like, how many people have actually watched this? I've actually paid attention. Because all I'm like...
Because you think all they see is that one joke?
All they hear is... They don't even hear a joke. They think a joke is how you actually feel. Like, I've called you guys assholes and like so many fucking things through, like, in the time that I've known you, but I cherish your friendship. I always have, and I will. That doesn't mean, like, if I call you a bitch, it doesn't mean I think you actually think you're a bitch. No, we're just like messing with each other. That's it. But they take the joke as fact, or like this is how they feel, and that's not true.
You know what they need to do? They need to take everything with a grain of salt, guys. Here, put the Spotify link right there.
Here we go.
Shameless plug-in.
Shameless plug. I can't find it. There we go. Hey. But I was like, man, how, like, it started, like, how far are they willing to go to do this, that they're willing to drag one of their own down for what exactly? So people will stop making jokes? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the goal here? People are dying. People are killing themselves. And then you, like, they're willing to label what he's saying as gender violence. But he's not the one that's driven people to kill themselves. And I'm like, how, like, what's the goal here? Whose side are you on, really?
It's very hypocritical because this was like 2 days ago, maybe a day ago, where they did the whole Netflix walkout.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual employees that were trans, it was less than 80 people that walked out. The rest of it were activists that didn't even work for Netflix, that were in the crowd. I was like, most of these people here don't even work there. You're just there for the ride, you know? And a YouTuber that loves to troll people no matter what, whatever it is, they just love to troll people. He goes out there with a sign saying, "Jokes are funny. I love Dave Chappelle." They broke his sign and tried to kick him out. I was like, who's the violent one here? You know, peaceful protest? It's not even peaceful anymore. And this is more driving to, like, they want to monitor what is funny or not. They want, there's no, you're limiting free speech every single time.
And, well, that's the thing. Like, Dave Chappelle says, like, this is art. Like, what I do is art. And it's just my kind of art. That's it. And he was like, that people keep interpreting it, saying, like, I interpreted this as you being transphobic. He's like, y'all can, think of it however you want. But as the maker, as a creator of this art, I disagree. That's not at all how I feel. You're just putting these words in my mouth. You think I mean this when I don't mean that at all. But what you think I feel is stronger than how I actually feel? I don't understand. And that I kind of agree with that. Like, you can't decide intent. You can't assume intent. 'Cause I could just send you a text, be like, you're a bitch. And I could either be like, Andre, you're an actual bitch. Or I could be like playing with Eric and be like, I'm just going to take some care of like that. Which is more likely?
Well, the playing around? But I would know that.
Exactly. But, like, well, that's because you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Other people might not know me. And they're going to think the worst. For some reason, the default is always the worst possible one. Which, like, why is that the default? What happened to having the benefit of the doubt for people?
That's what I was going to say. Like, how does that become our first thought of going, like, the bad way? Like, oh, he doesn't like her or something. I wonder. You just got to think about, like, how everyone would... Trying to think of my psychology words. It's not coming up to me right now, but...
It's happened before to me, though. Like, people get off the impression, like, oh, he's a frat boy. He's going to be an asshole the whole time. But, like...
But you are.
It's not even true. I'm so laid back. I don't like to bully people. Like, I'm not... You know?
He also goes into... I think this is the last main point I can remember, but he talks about how they're like, you need to stop punching down to people. And because he says the story, but he met this lady. It was like the holidays. He was alone at a bar, and it was just her and this lady at the end of the bar. He was like, you know what? It's the holidays. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be alone on the holidays. You know what? Let me send her a... You know what? He tells the bartender, send her a drink on me. You know, just spread a little bit of cheer. And then he's like, and then she comes over, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to talk to her. I just want to make her feel better. But he's like, and we were talking, and we were getting along just fine. And then she finally gets to the point where, like, she's talking about her daughters, like, oh, she's in Hollywood, and she's doing really good for herself, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, do you want to see your picture of her? And he's like, no. But, you know, how do you say no in a polite way? And he's like, yeah, okay, fine, okay, whatever. So he shows her a picture, and he's just like, oh, she's really pretty. And then as he hands the photo back to her, he notices that she suddenly has like a mean-looking face, expression on her face.
Like, I got your ass now.
He was like,
kind of face.
and as soon as she said that, she was like, she knows who I am. And he was like, she wants to catch me. He was like, she knows who I am, because at first she said she didn't know, or like he assumed she didn't know. And then he was like, she looks at him, and like very firmly goes, she's transgender. And he was like, oh god, like here we go. He's like, what do you want me to say? Like, oh, like look at her cheekbones and look at all this shit. Like, what? No, I'm not gonna say that. Is that how I like my immediate reaction? Maybe, but I'm not gonna say that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't know. He was like really upset about it. He was like, man, I just drove home and I was like really upset. And then fast forward to another bar, like a while later. He's at a bar and he looks like throughout the bar, and then he sees the girl from that picture. And he's like, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something. He's like, oh fuck, like this isn't the best part of town. People aren't exactly the most like the nicest people, the most welcoming to like the like I guess to trans people.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, he thought he was like, I'm gonna buy it some time. He's like, hey, I met your mother. She's a wonderful woman, and she told me everything you were doing, and I want to say, like, congratulations. It's nice to see someone from this town, like, being so successful. And people were like, yeah. And then she, like, gets up, and she's like, how dare you punch down to me, or something like that. He was like, oh, God. He was like,
what do you mean by that? Punch down to?
Like, you're pandering, I guess? Like, or you're...
Patronizing?
Patronizing, I guess is a better word.
Okay.
And he was like, he's like, I don't understand, like, how you can say that. Like, the only reason you can, like, punch down is if you see those people as below you. Whatever. And then, like, she starts going off, like, people like me, like, trans people, we've been persecuted for decades and blah, blah, blah. We've had it really rough, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, and there was two tall, really huge black gay guys behind her. And he looks at them and he's like, I look at them and I think, y'all gonna tell her shit? He's like, because we're black, you know, we've been like slaves and shit. Like, and when he said that, I started thinking, like, I've noticed this a lot. We kind of live in a society where we kind of try to one-up each other when it comes to hardship. Oh, I hardly get this much. I only get like 3 hours of sleep. Well, I only get 2 hours of sleep this night. All right, like this, like I went through, like this really hurt me. It's like, well, this hurt me even more. I've noticed this over the past couple of years. Like a lot of people like to do that.
It's the negative side of American culture, because if you look at it with Europe over there, they close their shop at 3, you know. But we work all the time.
Yeah, like
I've read, like, I understand that. Like, I don't like when people do that to me. I'd rather have someone just listen. But I've read that it's other people trying to sympathize. Like, I understand what you're going through, but I could see how it's seen, because I hate when people do that. It's like, really? I just want to talk.
Well, that's not what it sounded like at all. Like obviously it's only his side of the story, but the way, like, from it, the story that it was telling made it seem like either we're the only ones that have gone through something, our hardship's the only one that matters, or ours was worse than yours. Like, how are you supposed to take that? And then he goes back to talk about, like this, going back to the whole thing with Daphne Dorman. He was talking about her, and I don't know what he was saying, and then she stands up like in the middle of the special and goes like, "Hey," and says something along the lines of like, "Look, I'm just human, and I'm going through it just as much as you are." And he's like, she didn't say anything about pronouns. She didn't say anything about, like how she was treated. She just said like, "Hey, I'm human just as much as you are. I have my own problems, and I'm just trying to get through them." And I was like, why can't we all be like that? Like, everybody has to make their problems worse than everybody else's. Like, and this, like, I've been like somebody that I know apparently has gone through a whole lot, but they like kind of drag people down to like to their level, I guess, for lack of a better word, because I don't see people as like above or below me, whatever. But I come from a place like most of the people I work with in refineries, they've all gone through shit, whether like divorce, they lost their families, or they like have to bury their kids or something, or they've lost limbs and shit like that. And rather than people trying to bring others down to like where they are, we all come together and build each other up. So that's what I'm used to. And I'm like, why can't people, I mean, obviously there's other people that are like, that aren't like that, or the opposite, and, the antithesis to that, but I'm like, why can't everybody be like that? Like, hey, we're all just going through it. Rather than trying to compete, see whose lives are worse, why don't we all just work together and make lives better for everybody? I don't think that's what's going on. I don't believe it at all. And like, from watching this special and seeing how just that community is upset, I'm kind of like, why is it just this that crossed the line? We've all been made fun of. Why is it only bad when it's made fun of you? Not to say, they haven't gone through their own thing. Like, he even says like that he's jealous of the LGBTQ community because their movement is, I'd say it's probably a success. They're being more and more accepted, like across the board, which is good, I think. But he's like, that black people, it wasn't nearly as smooth, and it still isn't as far as the LGBTQ movement, acceptance movement, has gone, is what he says. And I was like, I don't really have an opinion here because I don't really know it that well, but yeah, it was just like, I'm like, it's just that community, and it's kind of crazy because he also made fun of the Me Too movement to an extent. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, they have a good movement, but they went about it all wrong. They went about it like white women. And he's like, what they should have done is, like, because they were like, oh, let's all go to the Oscars and dress up in black dresses. It's not going to do anything. Mind you, I'm like, kind of quoting him. He's like, that's not going to do anything. What you should do is leave your agents, leave your managers, and find like those that are like coming up that are more susceptible to all that. Now that you guys have your star power, bring those up. That way they don't have to be fed to like the Harvey Weinsteins. Why didn't anybody do that? He's like, rather than just wear your black dresses and say, no more this, like, why don't you take charge, is what he says. He's like, and I got called sexist for it. And he's like, so, but you know whose idea that was? It was mine. He's like, so if anything, the leader of the feminist movement should be a man. I was like, oh God.
It's like,
he's like,
wearing the breast cancer awareness ribbon, which it is, breast cancer awareness, and not donating at all. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're spreading awareness, but you're not helping the cause either. in that way. Like, if you want to help even more, then put more into it.
Yeah. I don't know. After watching the special, I started thinking about all that, and I was like, the priorities are kind of all over the place when it comes to our society. I'm only thinking about like the U.S. because I have no idea what's going on in like the UK or whatever. But
Australia,
I don't even know what's going on there.
they don't have a voice anymore.
Ooh.
Americans, keep your guns close.
Oh,
Andrea,
shit.
don't sell your guns. But yeah, the police are very brutal. Yeah. If you are like 5 minutes past curfew, they'll just take you and drag you out on the street and beat you.
Fuck.
Or jail you for like 30 days.
Jeez.
I was like, it's bad enough Australia, like, it's a beautiful place, but everything's trying to kill you, and then now you
The
gotta
people
worry
attack.
about the people trying to keep you safe.
This world's fucked.
It's so complicated when it doesn't need to, but I mean, I'm really mad about how everything's going on in that sense. As far as like media coverage, a lot more media coverage has been towards Dave Chappelle and the walkout with the transgender movement and everything, and I'm like, there's more coverage about this than the hundreds of Americans left in Afghanistan, and they have no communication because the Taliban have cut their communication with them. So we don't know if they're dead or alive, and they can't even come back because the Taliban took their passports, and we're doing nothing about it. It's like, as an American, you know, it really does piss me off.
I guess that goes back to the priorities. People's feelings over people's lives. I don't know. I always feel like being offended is a choice. Because I've seen people like on... Did it flicker again?
It's been
Flickering,
doing
yeah.
that.
I'm just like, this is it. This is the moment.
That's like what, fourth time?
Yeah, fourth time.
But, like I've seen some Latinos get upset over like, I don't know, just dumb shit. Like people saying like a white man wearing like a sombrero is cultural appropriation. And they're like, that's offensive. And I'm like, no it's not. No it's not. Go to Mexico. If you're a white person, go to Mexico, get a sombrero and get a poncho. You know what they're going to say? Hey, you look good. Not only that, ponchos are fucking comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
And you want to know why sombreros are shaped that way? To give you shade. That's it. It's a fucking hat.
It's a hat.
It's hot in Mexico.
It's a hat.
That's why. It's not a be like, oh, it's our culture. Like, no, it's fucking hot. Like, oh, you can't wear a sombrero because you're not... No, like, wear the fucking sombrero. Any Mexican you
want to
meet.
stay cool while looking cool, you get a sombrero.
As a Mexican, I probably gave you the fucking thing. Most likely it was a like, if anything, like I said, ponchos are fucking comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
And warm. You wear them at night, you're going to keep you warm. They're like blankets, but they're OG Snuggies. They're OG Snuggies.
Are.
Why is it so bad for somebody to wear it if you're not Mexican? And then I see people are upset about it. Like, oh, like, why should I be upset? Don't tell me what I need to be upset about, especially if you're not in the same fucking culture. Like, I don't understand. And then the people that are offended say, like, try to, like, I'm not going to speak for everybody. But this is where this gets to the point where I'm really trying to make that this, like, being offended is a choice. Why is it bothering you so much? Why doesn't it bother me? Because I think I've made the choice that it's not important enough for it to bother me. And I don't see any reason why it should. I choose to let it happen because I don't see it as important. Should a white person wear a sombrero and a poncho? Every Mexican I've ever met wouldn't give the slightest fuck. If anything, he'd probably give you a Corona too and be like, let's party. Like, I've never met a Mexican, and I grew up in Mexico. We had my dad's from Rio Bravo, Tamaulipas, and we had a ranch over like a few miles out, and that's like we grew up there. Like for most of my from a lot of my childhood, we didn't have running water or electricity, but we fucking did it. So when like the cold snap happened here, like and our pipes froze over, like, oh shit, we have to pour water, whatever water we can, into a bucket, and then heat it up manually, like over the stove, and then we pour a cup over our head, and that's our shower. I'm like, everyone's like, oh, that's terrible. Like, no, that's nostalgia. Like, and that's how I grew up, and seeing other people like go through like or like have things that remind me of like where I'm from. It doesn't bother me. If anything, it kind of makes me happy.
I feel like it's a lack of perspective. People had it too good for too long that they kind of forget.
That, and I think they're just they're just trying to be victims because they haven't had any problems, so they want to make a problem. They feel like the only way you can get any sympathy in this world is if you're a victim, and it's kind of like it goes back to, oh, my hardship's worse than your hardship. I'm like, oh, I'm a victim because you made fun of me, so now you need to feel sorry for me. Give me attention. Like, oh, I'm not a victim here. Go ahead, wear your poncho, wear your sombrero. I'm gonna go do my thing. But it's evil.
I mean, even more proof, like you can even go on YouTube and Google like, what do you call it, a domestic disturbance, a body cam on a police officer, and it's like quinceañera, and they just offer them a plate, and they're just like, yeah.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of videos like that. Like, I don't care. We'll invite anybody. I don't care about your.
Like I think Cat Williams said in one of his specials, like, Mexicans, all they need is a backyard and some Corona, and they're ready for a party. Like, white people need all these streamers and shit. Like, no, Mexicans, Corona in a backyard, boom, party.
Anything you want to add to this?
There's my rant.
It's a very, very long rant, yeah.
It's just been bothering me for a while, like, seeing more and more people, like, tell me what I'm supposed to be offended by when it doesn't. Like, I have more important things to be upset about.
What's your take on this, Andrea?
You know, I understand how, comedy, like, what you were saying, comedy, makes fun of everybody, as long as it's not, like, intentionally being hostile, like, you're saying this so the people listening will, like, I just don't want it to be hurtful, like, physically hurtful. Like, comedy's comedy.
Oh, like, saying, like, you should kill yourself isn't a joke.
Yeah, like...
Like, yelling fire in an open theater, that's not a joke.
Mm-hmm. Or bombing an airport,
Oh, that... Okay. That's a YouTube prank. Which isn't funny either.
I don't know, I just feel like as long as you're not intentionally saying things so that other people are hurtful to them, just, I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't know. I feel like I can't get my words right.
Yeah, this isn't exactly a black and white sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So, like,
there's a lot of things at play, but I feel like
to expect you to have an answer is bullshit. Because there is no answer. Because people are going to interpret things how they're going to interpret it. You can't help that. And I know what you mean. Like, as long as it's not intentionally hurtful.
Yeah.
Like, he says some fucked up shit, but it's all in jest.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be like, Asians should be hurt. Because he doesn't... One, that's not funny. Two, he doesn't think it's funny either. Like, and how the hell are you going to say that and make it clear that it's just a joke? And there's like a whole bunch of other things that go into it. That's way too complicated.
And if it's like
but I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your material is hurtful, and if you want to know in real time, you're gonna hear someone say, "Yeah, that's a rally. That's not a comedy special. That's a rally." Okay, we're gonna stop this. Moving on. Next one.
I don't want to watch it. It's like people can watch it, but it's just not for me. But
I feel like that shouldn't be the main concern.
I understand
and then
your point.
He's saying like people should have like thicker skin, take a joke.
Yeah, like he even like in the thing he's like, like LGBT the gay people nowadays, I don't like them because they're too soft. I miss the 90s and the 80s gay people where they didn't take shit from nobody. Like, you said something, they'd be like, oh, fuck no. They start doing their, like, movements and shit, and they beat the fuck out of you. He's like, what happened to them? I was like, where are they? Like, what? Like, the hard skin, like, I'm gay and I'm proud people. Listen, you don't see that anymore. What happened? I don't know. I don't have anything to say for that because I don't know. I think every not just gay people. Well, I'm pretty sure there's some, like, it's kind of hard to say because it's always, like, the loud minority as opposed to the majority, but I don't know. And I've never done any surveying of my own, so I can't say which ones, if it is the minority.
Also, I don't feel how they're, like, oppressed if they've been there the whole time, like, in movies. Like, The Little Rascals, cross-dress. Fucking, Woody Allen and, what was it? Anger Management. Like, if you go back, there's, like, trans people in movies. I wouldn't say that there actually were, but they're, like, played by actors. But it's...
When it comes to, like, inclusion, is that what it's called?
I guess.
Because the word escaped me. Like, I don't feel the need... Like, I grew up with, like, Justice League and fucking... you know, all these superheroes, the Avengers, and all this shit. And you don't... Like, I've never felt left out because there's not a Latino Avenger. That's never bothered me. So
Mexican Superman.
So I've always been like, everyone's like, oh, there's no representation of these people. I'm like, there's no representation of Mexicans in, like, the Justice League or the Avengers. You don't see me bitching about it. They're still heroes. They're still, like, morals to look up to. Why does it have to be someone like me? Why can't we just be people looking up to more people? And, like, I still remember when the Witcher series, the games, people were upset that it was all white people. And they're like, well, where are, like, other minorities? But then they failed to realize it's from Poland. There's a Polish developer. Where is the Polish representation? It's literally just those games. That's it. Unless you count World War II games where they're getting destroyed. Like, they don't matter? There you go. Like, I don't know. I just don't see the point of representation for the sake of representation. It's pandering to me, and that's insulting. Like, don't give me the job because I'm Mexican. Give me the job because I deserve it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a good George Lopez episode. They wanted him to sell out for his last name. And he didn't take the job because he was like, oh, it's a good episode.
I don't know. In an effort to lighten things up, I'm done with my rant. You have...
But those are our takes. I feel like there's other things to worry about. And then he's like, get thicker skin, you know? And it's just like, as long as we're not being hateful.
Get thicker skin because, like, you don't have to take... It's not a dick. Don't take it so hard. But...
And there's Eddie's joke.
Yeah, sorry.
Another sorry.
That's two for me. Yeah, in an effort to lighten things up, I think, Andrea, you had another Am I the Asshole?
Alright. Am I the Asshole? This week's episode of Am I the Asshole?
I wish she was ready.
I wasn't. I was on something else, but we're going back. Okay, for new viewers and listeners, Am I the Asshole is a subreddit where people post their story. They want the internet people to tell them, was I the asshole in this situation or not? So, I feel like I've told this one to a bunch of people, so let me know if I've said this to you.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for calling out my friend's wife? My 30 male... Okay, so this guy's 30 male, and he has a wife, male, who's a 30 female. Gave birth to our son a few months ago, and we recently had a small gathering to introduce him to our fully vaxxed friends, which includes James and his wife, Val. So these are two different people. Val is known to be troubled mentally and is particularly sensitive to certain sounds and smells. In parentheses, apparently it was from the traumatic death of her mother when she was younger, but we've never heard the story, so we don't know the details. Anyway, during the gathering, Mel's the wife that had the baby, Mel mentioned how she created a vlog of the whole birth process. Everything was safe for work, so her lady bits weren't captured, and she wanted everyone to watch it. The other ladies were interested to know how it was since we were the first couple to have a kid. I saw Val get visibly uncomfortable when it got to the pushing part, and she excused herself. I asked what was wrong, but she just said that she wasn't comfortable with the sounds. I thought it was ridiculous since it was part of the birthing process and told her joking that, well, you'll have to go through it anyway, so now's your chance to prep yourself. She excused herself anyways and was curt when I asked if it was one of her sensitivities. James overheard and told me to back off, but I found out later that Val gets very anxious around the smell of a specific type of disinfectant that I happen to use and any sounds of pain because it reminded her of her mother's death. Apparently it's still traumatic for her. I asked James and Val privately, of course, why did she even come to the gathering in the first place? And she said that she was there to say hi to a baby, not be subjected to a childbirth vlog. I told her that maybe it was a good opportunity to replace those memories with something more positive, but they just left after calling me insensitive. I told the rest of the group who thought I was making a big deal out of nothing, but my family agrees that Val was just being rude in the face of hospitality, and she should have put aside her discomfort to celebrate with the rest of us.
Eesh.
Val is the asshole. Go to therapy. Work through your shit.
Shit.
Is that your where you stand, or?
Yes, and also if you're a host, you got to make your guests, comfortable. If they're uncomfortable seeing a video, then go ahead. Like, just say, hey, I'll call you when it's over, and you can come back.
So he's a bit of an asshole too.
He didn't do that.
Exactly, like they're both being an asshole.
Okay.
But the first one, if there was like a list, I guess, who's the asshole first, it would be the person that represses the memories instead of work through them. Guys, work through your shit. Like,
this is, for me, this is a little more complicated because this kind of goes into, okay, let's start with like the girl that was uncomfortable. She's gone through her traumas and whatever, and obviously it's still like traumatic.
PTSD.
I mean, she did step out for the video. I mean, I fully believe, like, if you've gone through your thing, like, it's not anyone else's responsibility. Any of it, none of it is their responsibility, but I don't see them doing that here. Like, hey, I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to step out. I'm not going to stop the whole fucking party. I'm just going to step out.
That's where Mel becomes the asshole, where she just tries to force feed a video.
I mean, that was the plan.
She was polite.
That was the plan. That was their plan of the get together. So
No,
like,
that wasn't the plan.
It wasn't?
No, they're all there to say hi to the baby.
Oh.
And then she's like, "Hey, I got this vlog. Y'all just want to watch it."
Okay, fine. Like, if everyone's okay, I mean, then everyone's okay, and then just step out, and that's what they did. They stepped out. Like, hey, not to be disrespectful, but this is really bothering me. I'm gonna step out. Like, okay. It's not up to him to be like, get over it. I don't think it's up to him to be like, get over it. I think, honestly, I think he's the asshole because, like, yeah, like I said earlier, you have to have thicker skin, but it goes back to like, what's funny. Like, so obviously she's not gonna find that shit funny. Read the room, or read your audience, in this case her. Like, not just gonna joke about like. And honestly, is it really that disrespectful to be like, hey, this makes me really uncomfortable. I'm going to step out because it's really bothering me. Is it really that bad? If anything, you could have just called her back like, hey, the video's done. Or if anything, like, you've already seen the video. You're the host. Keep her company while she's out there. So that way she's still, like, included in some way. You're still feeling her, having them feel welcome. Honestly, I think it's just him. I think he's the asshole. She wasn't being rude. She excused herself rather than make a big scene and a big fuss. Like, If everybody else was okay with the video, then they're okay with the video.
Yeah, they can watch it.
So the girl that wanted to show the video, there's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah, because
I think it's just him that's the asshole. He doesn't get to decide when they get over their trauma and how they get over it.
And then I agree with that. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to make this a part of my business. You're traumatic? Tell me. I need to know why. And then he goes like, oh, but you're going to have a baby. You're a woman.
Yeah, I was like...
You're going to need to see this.
Well, it's optional. He's saying it jokingly, but you don't know that for sure. Like, you don't
maybe
want
she doesn't want kids.
Yeah, like,
exactly,
you don't know. Like,
you can't just assume. You can't...
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but it's on, like, if she's, like, say she does want kids someday, but it still bothers her. It's on, she gets to that point where she's ready on her own time scale. Not for anybody else's side, not even her husband. It's her trauma. She should do something about it, and because, like, we don't know if she is or isn't, and I'm not going to assume anything. Should she do something about it? Yes, but it's on her own. Like, it's on her to decide, and how she does it and how long it takes. Nobody else's. And she's not making that on anybody else, putting that on anybody else. At least not in this situation. Maybe, who knows? Maybe outside she's like, oh my gosh, my problems are your problems. But that's not what's going on here. So in this case, I think it's just him that's the asshole.
I got a question for you guys. Up to what point where is it okay to share personal information? I feel like it's a peanut allergy. Like, you should tell people in some extent. Like,
Well, I think it's...
Like, she should tell, like
Like,
about
oh,
her
we
trauma? Or what do you mean?
yeah.
Like the details of it?
Yeah, like...
Well,
To
that...
the point where it's not disturbing for you.
To me, it's more like...
That way, if this whole thing could have been avoided. Be like, okay, that's not...
It's a mix of need to know, and when when that person's ready to tell it, and when the listener's ready to hear it.
And he wrote, Val is known to be troubled mentally and is particularly sensitive to certain sounds and smells. So they know that, okay, so she doesn't like these things. Do we need to know what certain smells and what certain sounds she doesn't like? I mean,
it would help, if she's
help,
ready
like,
to say it.
She doesn't have to. She just knows, like, okay, so certain sounds do that. So, like, okay.
If
like,
it-
is
yeah,
she
and
gonna
that part-
counter it?
I feel like that person should have asked first, like, hey, like, I'm gonna play this video. There's gonna be certain sounds, you know?
Well, it's like, again, it's like nothing like this is ever that black and white. I still think it's just him that's the asshole, but if they know she's sensitive to certain things, certain stimuli, then she should be prepared for it. If everybody else wants to do, like, is okay with something, yeah, like, she did what she should do and excuse herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did what she needed to do. She excused herself, and that's okay. She didn't stop everybody else's fun for her sake. She was like, I'm going to go over here. I'm uncomfortable. You guys, you continue. I'll be over here. That's what I think.
What thing that he really said that really put the nail in the coffin for why I think he's the asshole is that she should have put aside her discomfort to celebrate with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Okay. That,
was
yeah.
like...
Again, he doesn't get to decide how much it affects her. And if she, like, sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
Like I said, like, people need thicker skin, but that's like when it comes to like jokes and
It's
stuff.
like-
This is like trauma. That's
like,
different.
Yeah, it's like saying, hey, Eddie, I know you have to go to the restroom, but you have to hold it for the next half hour. No. So I want you to set aside your discomfort for the remainder of this podcast.
Like, I still, like...
That sounds so stupid. Like, if you need to go.
I still have trouble, like, when I'm...
Peeing?
Like,
Oh,
oh my
that was
gosh.
good. Yeah, okay.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, when I'm, like, sleepy, it's really hard for me to get behind the wheel because of my car accident. But, fuck you.
Okay, no, I'm the asshole.
You're the asshole. No,
I know it's in good jest.
Oh,
We
there
all
was
know
a
that.
window,
I'm
and she went...
I'm not offended because I don't choose to be.
There you go.
No,
I'll allow it.
That was funny.
I'll allow it. That was good.
That was good timing. But, fuck him for saying that.
Yeah, the bunch of the comments agree like that this guy is the asshole, which is one of the reasons why I picked it, because of course, I think I've said this before, is not many of people that are in here that are assholes. Because why would you put yourself on the internet when you know you're the asshole?
Yeah.
I think this guy just needs to be
considerate
and not only think of himself. Like he was real, like, what? Like, we're happy. You should be happy too. But it's like, come on. Yes, to a extent, like she knew, she went over to see the baby to congratulate them about the baby. Like, yeah, she's happy for them. But
I think she did everything she should have.
Mm-hmm. And I'm happy she has a supportive husband.
I want to retract my statement. I think he is the asshole, but I think she's the asshole to herself.
What does that even mean?
Like, yeah, she's going through it, but like you should work through it, like your trauma, and the longer you hold it in, you're just bottling it up. It's not good for you. Take care of this.
I've had somebody tell me like that when we're going through something, we always say like, get over it, or like, not get over it, but like,
is it like a Mexican saying?
No.
Rub some dirt on it.
No, like I
Vicks.
can't remember what it is.
Ponte
Rub
Vicks.
some Vicks on it. Ponte Vicks. No, like, deal with it. That's what it is. Like when we, like as guys, or when we tell each other,
Be
deal
a
with
man,
it,
Eddie.
not be a man. But when we say deal with it, a lot of people think that's like toxic masculinity, because it's like, wow, it's like, oh, you're not allowed to. It's not what it means at all. It doesn't mean we're not allowed to feel however we need to feel. It's deal with it is, it's okay to feel how you're feeling. Just work through it. Get through it. Do what you can to get through it. Because if you're not going to do anything about it, then you're digging yourself your own hole. You're digging your own grave. Don't make it anybody else's problem. But if you're trying to get help, if you're trying to do something about it, sure, like that's when you can bring people in, so we can all build each other up. That way you can get out of it and everybody else feels better, and boom, everyone's happy in the end. That's what deal with it means, not get over it now. It's do what you need to do to get over it, to get through it, and we'll all be better in the end. But it needs to be now. Start now.
Well, I like that you have the explanation, because if I were to hear just deal with it, I'd be like, what?
That's what deal with it.
Hold up.
At least for me and like all like Eric and like all those guys like in our inner circle, like when we say deal with it, that's what we mean. And it's always that's the thing that's always been implied. Never like your problems ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
It's
Like when Eddie gets too drunk and punches a hole in the wall, and I just say, Eddie, handle that shit.
He's like,
Fix that hole.
deal with it. And I just sit there making everybody else's problem.
Just goes, no.
I haven't punched a hole in the wall in years. Fucker. You can go listen to us on Spotify.
Good. Just the link.
Hey.
Here's the link.
Here's the link again.
Now I need
We've already went past it. We touched. It's the touchy.
Dude, I can't fucking see the thing.
It's $1.32. It's an hour and 30 minutes. What's in this?
It's $1.
Real quick before the outro. This did work.
Your eyes.
Fuckers listening,
Yeah.
his eye did get...
Fuckers listening. I forgot about it. You know what? We're just gonna let it fly until we find a replacement for it.
It worked. It took away the redness a little bit. It's coming back. I noticed it a while ago.
It's coming back?
It's getting back to red, but it had words when I think right before the Dave Chappelle talk, and I noticed it, but I didn't want to.
I stopped listening and then I just heard talk. What?
But yeah, it works. Okay.
All right. We're not experts in any things we talked about tonight, so take what we said with a grain of salt. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 23. We know for a fact that's 23 now.
23. Let's keep it going.
Don't cancel us. We barely started.
I'm sorry.
We already did like 6 apology videos.
All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Good night and take care. Then I have to cut
I like
this
this
out.
one, dude.
I'm going to have to cut
We
this out.
didn't even say our names.